very well. This is This Week in Comics. Today has been an exceptional day in the world of comic books, and it felt like a great day to celebrate a This Week in Comics. I was going to try to go live tomorrow, but it is absolutely insane with the amount of stuff I'm doing to set up for the holiday. I'll be doing Capes and Cowls. I'll be doing a Dune review. I'm doing a lot of coverage and editing for this movie, so I thought, hey, let's try a late night, especially East Coast and in other countries, This Week in Comics, and let's dive into a breakdown of the trailer. I've done a review and thoughts of the trailer you can check out on this very page. I did a reaction to the trailer, which you can check out at Real Rejects. You can't see my face. I just got through. The good news is, as you guys can see, we have finally fixed my phone and computer, so things are improving. Now I can see me. Oh, hey, there we go. So the good news is we are making strides. We have a microphone because the base of my phone works. We have a computer the right way it is supposed to exist. I finally got the Black Friday computer that I ordered. All things are coming together. So this should be a much improved technological This Week in Comics, even though it's on the later side. So I am very excited. Yeah, thank you, Charlie. We are currently the #1 most viewed reaction to the glorious Superman teaser. The teaser review on my page, if you haven't seen it, I posted bright early this morning at 6 a.m. It's been a big day. 12:30 a.m., Creature Commandos episode 4, my favorite episode of the series, and then 6 hours later, the 5.5 hours later, the Superman teaser trailer drop, and now 12 hours after that, we are doing the breakdown of the teaser trailer right here. Now, if you are new to this page, say you joined today with that teaser trailer, we talk about comic books. It's usually during the day. It's usually a little bit more structured, but I love comics, the books themselves, the actual comic books. So every week I read about 50 to 70 comic books, and here I break down the 9 I think are the best of the week, and I try to make them the more approachable ones. I then also preview the comics for that upcoming week. So today I'm going to be reviewing the comics from the 11th and previewing the comics for this week, the ones that dropped yesterday, the 18th. I also break down the news. Today we're going to be talking about the Superman teaser trailer, breaking down some things I noticed after a few watches. We're going to be talking about some The Batman 2 news. Going to be diving into the Spider-Verse directors being confirmed. Going to be talking about Penguin 2. Going to be talking about Clayface. Going to be talking about lots of stuff. So that is what this show is. Please do me a favor. If you're just swinging by, hit that subscription bell. We're going to hit 40K by the end of the year. That was my new goal after we hit 37, was 40K by the end of the year, and I am very stoked to say we're like 600 away. We got this. And I still have a ton of videos left this year. That's my cat's automatic food feeder. I still have a ton of videos left this year. Going to be covering every episode of What If. Going to be covering the finale of Dune Prophecy. Going to be covering, hopefully, if I have the time and energy, my favorite music of the year, my favorite movies of the year. Lots of stuff to come. But without further ado, let's talk Superman, the teaser trailer. First of all, I love that this teaser didn't give us too much. It has a few lines of dialogue, it has lots and lots of imagery, but it's largely based on feeling. That feeling is how I feel about Superman. This hope, this brightness, this joy, this ascent. It starts in a way that is actually letting Superman connect to others, like he is reaching out, and he's going to have people in his life, Daily Planet. He's going to have people in his life, the Justice League, as it forms. It's not formed yet. He's going to have people in his life in Smallville. I love this for this take on Superman. But what really struck me was this beacon of positivity. There's this light that is in all of the moments of the trailer. And I've talked about the trailer before, so I don't want to dive into that, but I do want to talk about some of the things I noticed on rewatches. I've got some ideas for what I think the structure is going to be-ish. We don't know the big bad that knocks him into the snow, right? Like Lex Luthor's the big bad of the movie. We see a kaiju. We see him fighting with someone clad in all black. They do this clever editing in the trailer where it's a mislead, where the person tackling him in the stadium then cuts to Mr. Terrific, so that's the assumption of who it is. There's also a shot of someone punching through the wall that's really fast. It's hard to tell if it's going to be that all-clad in black villain, if it's going to be Mr. Terrific, if it's Idris Elba's Bloodshot. Lot of questions. Bloodsport, sorry, I'm very tired. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's a Valiant comic. Bloodsport. But I noticed on an additional watch, when the Green Lantern Guy Gardner and when Hawkgirl come into that building where Superman is, That's Stagg Industries. There's a shot of Superman looking down, and in the back you can see Stagg Industries. That's really interesting because Simon Stagg is who created Metamorpho. Simon Stagg is a geneticist. He is a manipulator, and he is also a tech magnate, a la Maxwell Lord and Lex Luthor. So in addition to us having multiple characters that are in that space of tech and manipulation, I'm wondering now if Maxwell Lord has his branded up Amazon, Bezos-esque NASCAR jacket wearing Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific under the guise of being heroes ransack Simon Stagg's Stagg Industries, and Superman's coming to get Metamorpho, or something's happening where there's corporate espionage, something going on there. And then all of that while Lex Luthor doesn't want anything to do with these, superpowered beings, these aliens, these creatures, what that's going to look like. So I noticed upon revisit, Simon Stagg, I think, is going to be an integral part, and I think it's going to tie into Maxwell Lord's heroes. I think it's going to tie into what's going on with Lexcorp. I think it's a very important detail. I am very curious if there's any element of Lex robots or any elements of Lex being involved in the kaiju, because in the trailer, like second or third act, near the end of the trailer, there's a shot of Hawkgirl ducking, and you've got kind of a bubble around Mr. Terrific. And if you look very quickly, surrounding all of that are robots. And I noticed on rewatch, they are purple and green. Purple and green, especially with robots, is usually like a tech suit on Lex Luthor. So now I'm wondering if that big, what if it's right in front of us this whole time? What if the big purple and green glowing orb in the background of the suit reveal is Lex-based? What if he's got all those robots and they're Lex-based? What if all of this is somehow tied to him? So now I'm wondering, we also see the fictional nation of Barovia. The child that's yelling out for Superman and those clips in the news and all those things is a nation that goes through a civil war in the comic books. And I'm wondering if that ties into something where Superman can't be everywhere at once and there's unrest because of all these heroes. And if there's anything with genetic manipulation and anything like that. So the use of Barovia intrigues me. The use of Simon Stagg intrigues me. And just very in brief, because I didn't see him the first 3 times. I've watched the trailer 5 times now, and it took the 5th watch for me to notice when you're going through the bullpen, there's a shot of the TVs, and I noticed Beck Bennett from SNL on the first watch. But on the 5th watch, I noticed when they showed the over-the-desk shot, we've got our Jimmy Olsen, the first shot of Jimmy Olsen. Skylar Giacendo is in the foreground in the Daily Planet when they change camera angles in that shot. So we have officially seen Jimmy Olsen in the DCU, which makes me very happy. I think that Skylar Giacendo is one of the great casting choices ever made. I'm very excited for Skylar to be Jimmy Olsen, and I'm really curious what role he ends up playing. So I'm very excited about all this. I've got a video up that's about 10 minutes that dropped this morning, just my general thoughts and review. I talk about the importance of pop culture in culture. I talk about the importance of Superman. I give my basic thoughts in the trailer. I filmed it at like 4 in the morning, so I mistakenly say that there's no dialogue in the trailer when there's minimal dialogue in the trailer. I was very tired. I'm very tired now, so if I misspeak, I apologize. But I've literally been on camera 12 hours today. I did audio pickups for my DC Studio Showcase show. New episode drops tonight. I did, it was just a couple like credit lines. I did 3 hours live stream on Rejects. I did the trailer reaction. I've done so much, starting at 5 a.m. So apologies deeply if I am a little off. But I wanted to bring you guys the probable last This Week in Comics. Spidey has made his cameo appearance. Most likely, this will be the last live of the year. We are 1 week out, less than a week out until Christmas, so it is probably going to be going on vacation mode. I'm not going to be covering the Skeleton Crew live because I didn't get screeners for it, so I'm going to be coming back after the break for those. So this is probably our last This Week in Comics live, so I wanted to make sure I brought it to you guys. And we got new microphone, we got beautiful technology, we got computers, so things are getting better. So I wanted to talk about the Superman teaser because also in the morning, I'm hoping it lands in the morning, probably like late morning. I'm editing it tonight. There is a video I'm very excited to drop where I talked with David Corenswet, I talked with Rachel Brosnahan, I talked with Nicholas Hoult and I talked with James Gunn. And instead of being a journalist and typing up stuff, I don't write, I speak. I thought it'd be fun to give you guys my experience of the comic references and discussions about their characters that I had at the teaser trailer event. Because basically, those actors are those characters. It was insane how much David Cornsweet embodied the incredible, earnest Clark Kent, as well as the strong and capable Superman. Just in conversation, I talk about that. I talk about journalism with Rachel Brosnahan. I've teased some clips on my social media, but that's going to drop at some point tomorrow. I need to edit it. So that's coming. And then also I need to at some point get a complete unknown reaction up. So lots of stuff coming tomorrow. But let's talk more goodness with Real Rejects. I am doing a 12-hour day about Superman, and I can't stop. And here we are. I appreciate you being in here. You should quit all your jobs, every one of them. Coy, you should pack in way more information about comics using AI. Greg, I was going to say, I wonder if this is John, Greg, or Roxy, and now I know who. Because you know who Brainiac is? Greg Alba. You want to know who is a supercomputer trying to take over everything by misusing information and gathering it in ill-gotten ways? Greg Alba. In the chat, I see him, and I appreciate him. But I'm also aware of his scrupulous goals, his unscrupulous goals. It's definitely John espousing for AI. Haunter Dreams! Haunter Dreams, hello, good sir. As you guys know, I never leave a live stream without answering every single super chat. I would like to get to everything, but blissfully, there are so many people jumping in and out of things that I cannot. So I will definitely answer all the super chats. Are you going to make a video for Superman comic recommendations? I have already on this page. I made a video a few months back, and it's proving more and more accurate. The comics I would absolutely recommend for Superman are Superman for All Seasons, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, one of my favorite Superman stories of all time. All-Star Superman, the comic that James Gunn used to promote the film when he first announced it with Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. And I would also recommend Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. Now, I might do another video closer to release rediscussing those, since I've already made one and the movie's not out for another 7 months. But I'm going to be rereading a lot of Superman this year, and I'm going to try to find some more. I know John Byrne I want to reread, and that is definitely in this take. I know Ed McGuinness looks a lot like the Superman that we're seeing here, so I definitely want to dive into that stuff. But yeah, very, very excited. John finally woke up. He did it. Very excited that John has joined the land of consciousness. I love that people are generally excited. I also have a Tom Cruise pillow. I love that people are generally excited about this trailer overall. Wedding planning is going slow and steady, but surely. It is surely happening. It's just a slow and steady process. I appreciate that, Robert Pruser. I'm very excited for a comic-accurate DC movie as well. Also, there's almost 150 of you in here. If you guys could hit that like, we only got 2 likes according to my screen. I'd love some likes in there. Also, keep those comments coming. And if you're watching this in the replay, leave a comment in the video, like the comment section. Helps the algorithm go. So, like, share, all that stuff. There's not a lot of comic pages on this YouTube's, and I'm going to be bagging and boarding comics at the end of this. So please keep that in mind and support comic book channels, because I'm trying here. All right, we talked about Superman. Like I said, there's got a lot of other videos. Wanted to point out those couple things. I do think Simon Stagg is going to be integral. I would look him up. I do think Maxwell Lord is going to be branding heroes, and that's going to cause them to see the error in their ways because of Superman's altruism. I do think those things are not easy to catch on first watch, at least if they weren't for me. Let's talk about the Batman. Talked about Superman. Let's go to the other side of the world's finest. The Batman 2. We finally got an update from Matt Reeves himself. First update official in 4 months. You guys know I don't talk about rumors. I talk about facts. Matt Reeves sitting down with Zoe Kravitz for Directors on Directors, because Zoe Kravitz directed the incredible Blink Twice, which I really enjoyed this year. Talked with Matt Reeves and asked him what was up with the Batman 2, and he confirmed verbally, we got confirmation, the script is almost done and they are officially shooting next year. Now, both of those things have been said before, but they haven't been said in a long time. The Batman 2 is on track. Script is almost done. Shooting next year. All systems go. Very excited boy. We also know that Greg Fraser is not shooting Dune 3, and he is shooting the Batman 2. Those are 2 huge updates. Greg Fraser's like, ooh, do I do the Dune or do I do Batman? You make Batman. And I love Dune. Dune is my #1 movie of the year. Spoiler alert for the videos I'm making next week. Dune 2 is what got me to believe sci-fi could be that sweet, sweet feeling Star Wars used to give me. But I am very happy for Greg Fraser doing the Batman 2, because because I have a strong love of DC and love of Batman, and I'm very excited they're teaming up again. So officially got Greg Fraser back, officially got an almost completed script, and officially shooting next year. All of those things have me very, very excited. Also, I assume Zoe Kravitz is coming back, which always excites me. I adore Zoe Kravitz. I would wait 10 years for the Batman 2. I'm so glad they're not rushing. I'm so glad there's no pressure. I'm so glad it's saying separate of the DCU. I'm very excited for a more lively, probably gray-suited, maybe blue caped Batman to be, you know, Damian Wayne's father, a very different energy. I want a Batman that feels gritty in one universe, and then one that feels like Superman could exist with him in another. We're getting it. Cake and eat it too. So that's all coming. Very excited about it. So that is our Batman update. Also want to dive into the crazy bit of news that happened right after I did This Week in Comics last week. We are officially getting a Clayface movie from Mike Flanagan. Now, this has been talked about everywhere. I feel like you've heard it, but my take is that this is one of the most exciting, weird announcements we've had in comic movies in a long time. James Gunn's building out these incredible, just arrays of universes, and I love that things don't have to connect. One, it prevents us from looking for like, oh, the post-credit scene, it ties to the next thing. Let's enjoy the 2 hours of the actual movie, not the 2 minutes of the post-credit scene. But two, we never know what's coming next. And all of this is like reading comics. Like this book's happening, everything's all fun. But he's picking incredible directors and creators to run these things. Mike Flanagan is responsible for so many incredible horror properties. And it's also being described as like The Fly. Something that's like The Fly in the universe of Batman, in the DC comic realm, with Mike Flanagan helming it. He's writing it. Incredible. Clayface is a fascinating character. I'm really curious how they translate him. I'm really curious what goes on with that. I'm very, very glad about all of this, and I'm very hopeful for the future of all these things. After the Superman trailer, I am pure hope. Don't let my exhaustion fool you. I'm pure hope. And that Clayface news is very exciting. So that comes out September 11th, 2026, confirmed. Mike Flanagan confirmed to be writing it. Very exciting stuff. So we've got the Batman 2 confirmation. We've got Clayface confirmation. Let's go to a rumor. Like I said, I don't talk rumors, but this one has been confirmed as a conversation. So it's not a rumor. It's just not certain. We have confirmation that the Penguin Season 2 is being discussed. In the same conversation of this crazy press tour, Matt Reeves said, you know, they never planned initially to even make a Penguin Season 1. It was out of the success of Colin Farrell's enjoyment and the success of Batman that led to the Penguin. The success of the Penguin seems to be potentially leading to a Penguin Season 2. Now, Matt Reeves has said this is a maybe, but I like the fact that there are some discussions. The Penguin, again, spoilers for another video that's coming later, is my favorite show of the year. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's my favorite show since Breaking Bad. It just happens to star a character that I love and an actor that is one of my favorite actors alive. So it's a lot of my favorite shit, but the show's actually exceptional on top of all that. So I think a Penguin Season 2 is deserving. I'd love if we got the Batman, a bridge show, the Batman Season 2 bridge shows, Batman Season 3. I'd love if we got the Arkham show we were supposed to. I'd love if we got the GCPD show that was rumored that I think led into some other things. I'd love if we get the Penguin Season 2 as well as another villain. I think there's a great potential here to have your villains be their own thing and branch out independently while growing. There's so much opportunity. So that is the current rumor that we are getting a Season 2 against all odds, against all plans. But stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted as it becomes fact or not, because that first season is amazing, and I would only want it to come back. It's a perfect limited series. I would only want it to come back if there's a reason to make it. Don't make it just to make it. Make it if you've got a story you have to tell. Like, I want the integrity of this to keep going because it is such an incredible time. I also want to discuss the SpiderVerse stuff. Speaking of only make it when you absolutely have to make it and don't rush it, Beyond the SpiderVerse has confirmed the 2 directors of Across the Spider-Verse are, in fact, the directors of Beyond the Spider-Verse. It is not new news, but it is interesting that they confirmed it as, you know, kind of, you know, a reminder of Spider-Verse is still cooking. I do think that a lot of people have, you know, forgotten what's happening with Sony because of the chaos of Craven. There is still an incredible 3rd movie coming out in what could land as the greatest trilogy in movies. In my estimation, the first 2 Spider-Verses are 5 stars. Those are 2 perfect films to me. I, again, would rather it take 10 years and have a good 3rd movie than rush a 3rd movie out and ruin the trilogy. That said, they confirmed directors are the same two directors of Across the Spider-Verse. Bob Persichetti and Stephen K. Thompson are once again directing Beyond the Spider-Verse. They've been directing it this whole time. It just came out as news. A lot of people I saw tweeting like, how are they just confirming this now? What a mess over there. That's not the case. It's just publicly confirmed. That said, I'm hoping this public confirmation leads to a estimate. I would love a conversation that leads to, when they're ready, a release date estimate. I hope they don't announce until they know, and they don't have a deadline that they have to work to that they're not ready for, but I'm hoping this is just the beginning of a ball rolling. I'm hoping this is an indicator of things cooking. So I'm excited. I had a great conversation with these guys for Oscar season last year. When the Oscar nomination for Spider-Verse came through, they hired me to do a panel for them, and I was really honored to host the Academy nomination panel with all those directors. Me, Chris, Phil, these two gentlemen, another producer. Like, it was a really special time, and they love Spider-Man so much. They love Spider-Verse so much. They love these characters they're reimagining and playing with so much. They're the right men for the job. I'm very excited overall. So very, very, very curious when and how this movie shakes out. I'm still very hopeful whenever it comes out, 2026, 27, 28, 29, 2030. I will still be there because I will love these characters the rest of my life. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted as any bit of solid news comes to fruition. We will know when the time comes what the plan will be for the Sony stuff as well. But as we heard last week, my main headline for This Week in Comics last week was that the Sony universe is tenuously confirmed to be no more. The universe of villains has ended, so at least we still have Spider-Verse. We also have Spider-Man Noir coming out next year in live action. Nicolas Cage playing him in live action on Amazon, very exciting to me. Lamorne Morris playing the first live action Robbie Robertson since the Sam Raimi movies. I'm very excited about. So all of that coming together has me stoked. Two last small bits of news, and then I'm going to check in the live chat. Again, any super chats you guys got in there, I will happily get into them, and I will try to check every single live chat, but I promise each and every super chat, Streamlab, I will get with vigor. Last two bits of news, we got confirmation. I believe it was this morning. Today's been 8 years long for me because I went to bed at 1 a.m. and I got up at 4:30 to film at 6. So I don't know when we are, but I do know that I think it was this morning that we got confirmation that Sonic 4 is a go-go for spring 2027. And there are Sonic comics, so this is not betraying the This Week in Comics credo of talking about comics and comic adaptations. I have considered doing a This Week in Movies, but I think I can say it. Greg's talked about it. Greg and I are going to be doing a show at Real Rejects that's going to be a weekly movie show. We're very excited because we know there are a lot of not-so-great movie podcasts, and me and your boy, Greg Alba, who was in the chat earlier, are going to be doing a movie podcast. But I didn't want to be redundant and have a movie podcast on this channel. I'm going to do comic book podcast right here, this show. I'm going to learn how to get it on Spotify next year. I'm going to learn how to grow this out. I'm doing all that. As you can tell, we're upgrading. Audio's better. Computer for editing is better. Camera's better. We're making moves. But movie show with me and Greg kicking off in January. But Sonic falls into the comic category because there's some great Sonic comics. Sonic 4, spring 2027. If you guys haven't seen my interview with Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves, check it out over on Real Rejects. It dropped yesterday morning before all the Superman glory dropped upon us. It's only like 4 videos ago, but the last 4 videos have been insane. So seek back a little bit, sat down with Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba to talk all things Shadow and Knuckles. Talked with Idris about music, talked with Keanu about action scenes and fighting. Had a great time. Love both those gentlemen. A lot of respect and admiration and appreciation both those gentlemen. And the Sonic franchise is my favorite video game movie franchise. Sonic 2, for my money, is the best video game movie of all time. Gran Turismo is my number 2. Sonic 1 is my number 3. And somewhere in the top 5 is Sonic 3. It is a very good time. I hope you check it out when it drops. And it's already tracking well enough. We're getting a Sonic 4 in 2027. So I wanted to bring you guys that little bit of news. Kevin Frazier, thank you, man. I appreciate that very, very much. A super chat of just appreciation and gratitude. Gratitude right back. Exhausted gratitude. Don't mistake these hazy eyelids for a lack of zeal. All the zeal I have is right to you, and I appreciate it very much. So Sonic 4 is the penultimate little bit of news, and the final bit of news, straying even further into tenuously comic books, is Christopher Nolan was knighted today. Sir Christopher Nolan. I thought it was funny the director of The Dark Knight is now a knight himself. The Dark Knight's Knight Christopher Nolan. There's probably a much better play on words than my tired brain can wrangle, but Sir Christopher Nolan, Knight of directing The Dark Knight, amongst other incredible films. Very, very, it's just fitting because it's night. But he has Rose. He is the Chris Knight Rises. Very excited for him. Him and Emma Thomas were knighted by some royalty, someone with a sword knighted them. I don't know who. I don't follow the royalty stuff, but I follow knights, and he got knighted, and I'm happy for him. Sir Chris Nolan, rise, a badass. Just wanted to share. Thought that was cool. That is the news. We talked about the Superman teaser, a couple breakdown things I didn't notice the first time. Lexcorp Robots, the stuff with Stagg, the stuff with Maxwell Lord, the appearance of Jimmy Olsen. If there's anything you guys want me to talk about in the teaser, let me know in the comments. I will check it real fast. I am very curious if there's anything in the teaser you guys want me to discuss. We talked about Clayface because I missed it last week. It dropped right after the show aired. We talked about Penguin 2 being discussed. We talked about the Batman 2, as well as Spider-Man getting its Spider-Verse directors publicly announced, Sonic 4, and Nolan being knighted. If there's anything else you guys want me to discuss, let me know, because it is time to talk about some comics. There are 170 of you in here right now. Hit that like button, please, and thank you. It'd be much appreciated. It has been a 14-hour day for you, boy, but I wanted to bring you one last live. I think that tomorrow I'm filming at Rejects and Capes and Cowls and stuff of my own, as well as posting 2 videos, one maybe, but maybe 2. And Saturday I'm filming for 14 hours to take off the week of Christmas. I might, depending on how crazy Saturday is, film a little on Monday, and there's a little chance I'll do a live at some point next week to do one last This Week in Comics, but 90% sure, because I need a vacation, this will be the last This Week in Comics. So I appreciate you guys very much for showing up today. Chris Fields just finished up the One Bad Day series based off your recommendation. Really enjoyed it. Thanks. Highly recommend everyone read One Bad Day. If you got a favorite Batman villain, the Riddler one is exceptional. The Penguin one's exceptional. The Ra's al Ghul one's exceptional. They are literally some of the greatest hits of any character you love, and it's all in one collection. But each comic's an anthology. You don't have to have read any comic in your life. There's no continuity. There's nothing to keep you to the next thing. And there's not a bad one in the bunch. It's really special. I think it's one of my favorite Clayface stories ever. Check out One Bad Day. Those are really good. I'm so glad you checked those out, Chris Fields. I appreciate that very much for you letting me know. It means the world when people check out comics, especially on my behalf. Charlie's Flicks Fix. What up, man? Who is Maxwell Lord? He is someone who is a good or bad guy, depending on the situation. He's very self-serving. He is responsible for Justice League International. I think that's the story direction they're going with in this one. Technically, he was in Wonder Woman. Very different take from Pedro Pascal. Not the take they're going with here. They're going with the more comic accurate take, I believe. And I think it's going to tie into Justice League International, and I think he's going to be sponsoring and funding heroes in this story, and he's played by Sean Gunn. He's an interesting piece of work because he's not a bad guy. He's a self-serving guy. We've got the Red Logician, a person of logic, the Red Logician. I'm a huge fan of the DC animated universe. I really think they have dominated in the animated world. Should they just make the animated movies live action? Would love it. Thoughts? I think some things should be live action and stay live action. I think that you should take elements of the live action movies and put them in animation. I mean, and put them in live action, certainly, but animation is its own medium, and live action is its own medium. Not everything's going to translate. I think you should take inspiration from the animated films, but the animated ones don't go away when you adapt to live action, so you wouldn't want redundancy. Some things translate better into live action, some things translate better into animation, so I don't think you should just remake anything, but I think that you should take inspiration from them personally. C Black, oh hey man, we saw you with the live earlier at Real Rejects. Thoughts on Sadie Sink as Jean Grey being reported by Jeff Snyder? I think she'd be great. She has been a fan cast of mine for quite some time. I don't know how true it is, but if it is true, I think Sadie Sink is incredible. She is such a scene stealer. She is so captivating. She has such a darkness underneath an innocence that is Jean Grey. She's a redhead, an actual redhead. All the things that you'd want in Jean Grey are empathy, darkness underneath an innocence, a connectivity, a presence. Like Sadie Sink's got it all. I'm all about it if it works out. If it is true, I think it's dope as hell. What will Engineer's role be in the movie? Asked Trupex. I don't know. I know that obviously it ties into the Authority. I know that the casting of anyone is in all mediums, so it's live action, animation, video games. I know we're getting an Authority movie. I'm wondering how much we're getting Engineer in this, much less her in other things. I know she looks awesome. Apparently she's somewhere in the trailer. I think she's going to have something to do with the Lexcorp Robots, maybe, or something to do with... Oh, that was another thing. Calex. The Fortress of Solitude in the background of Calex, the shot of the robot taken down. I'm wondering if that's either Lex or someone taking out Clark's history. Because, you know, Clark Kent is a man of three worlds. Like, he is Smallville, he is Metropolis, Daily Planet, and he is also Superman and International and Justice League and, you know, the Planet and more. I would wonder if someone's trying to hurt him by taking out his history, taking out his past, because the original title was Superman Legacy, but it was pointing at Superman's legacy, like the things that led up to Superman. But it did sound like, you know, the third movie. It sounded like a later in the journey of Superman title, so I get why they changed it. Plus, there's never been a movie just called Superman. There's only been Superman the movie, Superman Returns, etc. Superman Legacy is about his past, like what got him there, the legacy of everything that led to Superman. I could see someone attacking that. I was really curious to see Calex, what I think is Calex, destroyed and how conscious that was. Very, very excited about it. They aren't calling it Lexcorp. It's Luthor Corps, so it could have been created by his dad or grandfather. Correct. Thank you. So sorry. That is a slip of my tongue because I'm so used to Lexcorp, and they did say Luthor Corps very clearly in the show, in the teaser. You are absolutely correct. I appreciate that, Andrew Cook. Hope maybe we can get some Superman villains in the new universe. Yeah, I think we're getting a ton of Superman villains. I think it's going to be really exciting. Burknish, hey Coy, I love your work. What comic books would you recommend to someone who loves all things nerdy but has never picked up a comic book in their life? Asking for myself. All-Star Superman. Very approachable, very timely, very topical. Charlie Fix on the next comment down. Literally just picked him up on my rec. Thank you, man. That makes me happy. I appreciate that. But it is a very approachable comic. I'd recommend that one. I'd recommend, if you like Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, either the new one from 2024 or the OG Ultimate Spider-Man from 2000. I would recommend Astonishing X-Men. It's a very approachable X-Men story. X-Men God Loves Man Kills. I would say Batman Hush from Jim Lee. I would say Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. I would say a lot of Tom King. I like Tom King's Batman quite a bit. His Wonder Woman's also exceptional. His Human Target is one of the prettiest books of all time. Mr. Miracle by him and Mitch Gerard is one of my favorite comics ever made. I would say Kingdom Come is really interesting. It's a little dense, but it's really special. I would say, I mean, I just gave you a lot. That's probably too much. It's probably an overwhelming amount. But those are some books I think are very good gateways into the world of comics. I got 30 minutes to finish my class. I'm listening. Oh, it just moved. It just moved. And I'm listening to live. LOL, loving it. Ethan DeLongo, that makes me very happy. We still got 170 people in here, which makes me happy. Inspiration wines, he means the watcher. Oh, then yes, I do think that is a wonderful thing. Oh, my fiance is watching on the car ride home, driving safe. I hope. I love you very, very much, and I'll see you right here very soon. I love you so very much. Sadie Sink would be Tobey Maguire's daughter. Mayday, that would be awesome. Yeah, another great one. Hi, Koi, love from India. What up? Solid choice. Yeah, I totally agree. Hi, Koi, just like your recommendations, I finished All-Star Superman, Superman for all seasons, Superman Up in the Sky, and now starting Superman, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. More comic recs, please. Dirk Nation, you well-read so-and-so, you overachiever. That makes me so happy. That means the world to me. Adding to that, I would read Strange Adventures for some Mr. Terrific. I would read Human Target, as I just mentioned a second ago, for Guy Gardner. I would read Justice League International for Maxwell Lord. I would read some Silver Age stuff for the bright and cheery tone. I would read some John Byrne. Check those out. Those are the next wave. Let's see. What's your favorite Deadpool comic, Koi? I think Spider-Man and Deadpool, or Deadpool. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is my favorite Deadpool. It's Deadpool, Captain America, and Wolverine in an incredible story that is equal parts sad, violent, and moments of levity. Curtis Mason! Long time, man. Good to see you in here. That makes me real happy. JLI is a must-read. So good. I agree, The Watcher. WB did give me this hoodie, and anywhere you can get it online, CJ. I don't think yet. I am now working with DC Studios, so this and the shirt I have from DC Studios mean the world to me, because this is, I did audio for DC today, and it made me real happy to do. So this is a brand of pride. This bullet was the symbol of DC that I grew up with. This is what I think of when I see DC, so the fact that I wear this with some connection. Like, this is a place I'm working that fills me with such joy. This makes me so happy. And then this, obviously, is hope for the future, for joy. I am not being hyperbolic when I say we've never needed Superman more. And I think if Superman is as good as I think it'll be, it could be actually be a shift in our culture, not just pop culture. And I'd like to be optimistic again. I think it's important. So I wear this with so much pride. And thank you very much for asking about it. And I would like everyone to be able to get it. So hopefully it pops up soon. But check out DC Studios. They did a giant drop today. Superman merch. There's like new shirts. There's new swag. There's posters. There's all sorts of stuff. Crypto Take Me Home. It's really beautiful. Really, really powerful. Super fan. You know, I said it on the Real Reject stream earlier. What I would recommend if you're upset is we don't need to know everybody, and the internet's a lot of people, so block with reckless abandon. Like, you don't need negativity in your life, man. Those people can just be angry over there. And that's not your responsibility to deal with them. It is our responsibility to keep hopeful and keep making things better and better day by day. They can do their misery elsewhere. Let's talk about the best comics from last week, in my humble opinion. This is This Week's in Comics Comic Recommendations section. These are the books that came out last week, the week of the 11th of December. At the next section, I'm going to recommend the comics that dropped yesterday, the 18th of December, and then I'm going to jump back in here for any of the super chats and as many regular live questions as I can get to. The first book I recommend from last week is Alien Paradiso. Ever since Fox was bought by Marvel, all of the Alien, Predator, and stuff is Marvel canon in Marvel Comics. They've been doing really cool stuff with it. We've got Predator fighting Black Panther in a way that actually works. There's a Predator Spider-Man coming out soon. Alien is interacting with Avengers and one of the best illustrated Asad beasts. Oh my god, beautiful, Jonathan Hickman written. They're doing cool stuff. This is just Alien. No continuity, no canon, and it's a really cool story that feels like it was already a dope story, and then they added xenomorph elements to it. This is a really good time. Again, it's an issue 1, very easy jumping on point, no continuity required. If you like Alien, Alien Paradiso. Then we've got Amazing Spider-Man 63. 3 issues ago, we changed creative team. I was not a fan of how long Zeb Wells was on that book. I like Zeb Wells as a human, as a writer most of the time, but he sees Spider-Man very differently. Joe Kelly is now on Spider-Man with Ed McGuinness, one of my favorite artists. This was a filler issue art-wise, so it's not McGuinness, but the art's still great. And this is Zeb Wells using the humor of Spider-Man, but also the tragedy. He is cursed by Doctor Doom to die 8 times as a way to be a surrogate for Doctor Strange and magic and stuff. You'll see 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Pretty dope stuff. Batman and Robin number 16. This is a very paternal Bruce Wayne leading Damian Wayne in detective stuff. This is a really cool detective issue, arc, etc. But this whole comic has been amazing. I highly recommend anyone check out this Batman and Robin title. It's been very consistent, very wonderful. This issue, especially Bruce worrying about Damian Wayne veering too much into darkness and not focusing on certain elements of the story. It's really cool. I really like this title. Batman Dark Patterns. Speaking of darkness, this is a brand new issue 1, brand new continuity as far as like it takes place in the past. It's like a year 3 story. You don't need to have read any Batman to understand what's going on. It's a very violent story. A brand new supervillain is introduced. It's a very graphic, intense, David Finchery 7 kind of vibe. Definitely recommend it. Dark Patterns. Real good. Look at that iconic cover. It's awesome. Check out Dark Patterns. Then we've got, this book is shockingly good. It shouldn't be good, but it's so good. DC versus Vampires, World War V. The characterizations are great. The art is fun. Seeing these characters as vampires shouldn't be as gleeful as it is. They're doing a really good job nailing what would happen if certain characters were vampires, how people would interact. It's just fun. It's just a real good time. I really like this book. Then we've got Laura Kinney, Wolverine number 1. Again, I always try to make the favorites of the week my favorites, but also the approachable ones. Brand new jumping on point if you're a fan of X-23. This is a very like girls' night out fun book. I really like when X-Men are casually hanging out as well as adventuring and violence. This has both. This has rescuing of mutants. This has mutant hangs. This has the new post-Krakoa world. Has a lot of great stuff, and it stars X-23. It is a delight. Then we've got Minor Arcana number 4, written and illustrated by Jeff Lemire. Highly recommend this book. It is kind of like if Zatanna was not as glamorous. It's a woman that is reluctantly doing magic that realizes that she's trapped in it because her mom passed it along. Her mom's a tarot card reader. She never believed her mom, and now she's starting to see stuff in this small town. Really fun, very down-to-earth, fun story, especially since it deals with magic. And then we've got Storm number 3, only 3 issues in, the solo book of my favorite X-Men. Love Storm. Storm and Cyclops are my favorites, and Storm usually doesn't get her due. This book is giving her her due. She is dying in this title, and she went to Brother Voodoo at the end of issue 2 to save her. This is Brother Voodoo sorting that out. Doom is involved because he is the, Sorcerer Supreme right now. A lot of stuff going on, but it's really a great look at the emotionality and glory of Storm. And our final one is going to be Uncanny X-Men number 7. Look at that cover by Marquez. Look how beautiful. Every one of these covers, X-Men and Uncanny, just iconic imagery. This is from Gail Simone. I love that this is the 2 teams converging. This is the Raid on Grey Malkin, issue number 8 of regular X-Men, like no subtitle. X-Men 8 and Uncanny X-Men 7 coming together, the 2 teams at odds with their ideology and their rescuing Beast, and it's a really good time. Real good stuff. Hope people dig it. Douglas McKinney, my first X-Men comic was To a Warm Storm versus Scott. Dude, I was so close to getting your question right on the trivia. Was so, you tricked me just the right way. Douglas McKinney is one of the greats. Darth Vader. I do a show called Koicast. I podcast as well. I never talk about it. I'm working on it. I have a podcast that comes out every 2 weeks. I have a Patreon podcast that comes out every week. If you go to koicast.com, hundreds of episodes of a podcast that I don't talk about enough, talking about comic stuff. Head over there. Me and Jake Lloyd Bacon talking all sorts of stuff. This week was trying to stump an X-Men expert, and Douglas McKinney talking about 201. Man, Leonardi as the fill-in. I love Rick Leonardi, and I love Romita. 2 of my top 20 artists of all time. I got tricked. But yeah, 201 is a hell of a good first issue. But guys, check out my Patreon, Coy Jandro. Check out my podcast, Koicast, and the Patron-only pod. All that stuff. It'd make my holiday. I want more people to listen. I really got to work on that. Plugging stuff, because I do so many things. I'm going to try to narrow it in next year. I'm going to try to do this page, growing it to 40K. It's happening quick. I'm going to try to do Rejects, DC, Capes, Koicast, and hopefully that's it. 5 jobs might be enough. 6 jobs. Who knows? But yeah, I really appreciate you, Doug. I am upgrading my sound system with, I'm selling Funkos and stuff I don't use as much. And slowly putting money aside for speakers, and I'm very excited to try out some of the vinyl with the proper sound. So that is my Christmas present to myself, is slowly like getting rid of things that I like but don't use and replacing it with speakers that I will use is my Christmas goal. So that is the comics from last week. A speed round once again. My favorites from last week were the Uncanny X-Men number 7, Minor Arcana number 4, Storm number 3, Laura Kinney Wolverine number 1, DC vs. Vampires World War V number 5, Batman Dark Patterns number 1, Batman and Robin 16, The Amazing Spider-Man 63, and Alien Paradiso number 1. So that is what is coming out, or what came out last week, the week of the 11th. I would highly recommend you check out any of those books. The books I'm excited to check out this week, and this list is brought to you by the most popular title according to League of Comic Geeks. This is in order of the books people have clicked on the most. So this isn't me picking favorites. These are just me reading you guys the books that I'm going to read based off leagueofcomicgeeks.com. They have the best images. I use Cover Price for all my comic sorting. I use Cover Price when I pull my pull list. But when I'm getting images, I use League of Comic Geeks. So I highly recommend you check out Cover Price, COVR price.com. And then if you want comic images for like me showing you guys graphics, League of Comic Geeks is great. So books I'm checking out this week, the week of the 18th of December, I am most anticipating Ultimate Spider-Man number 12. Look at that cover. Look at that. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you. Look at that cover. Look at that beautiful Marco Cicchetto Spider-Man Santa. Oh, it's gorgeous. Love it. All right, that is my most anticipated. Then we've got Absolute Batman number 3. What a book. I'm so excited. Nightwing 121, World's Finest number 34, Mark Waid, Dan Mora. Action Comics number 1080, Fantastic Four number 27, my favorite Fantastic Four run of all time, continues. Wonder Woman number 16. I already love this title. It's Tom King. It's Wonder Woman. It's great. Detective Chimp. You add Detective Chimp. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? It's too much greatness. Titans number 18, Daredevil number 16, We've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 5, The Immortal Thor number 18, Batman and Robin Year 1 number 3. That book has been amazing. New Gods issue 1, Ram V Wright New Gods, very excited about that. Deadpool number 19, Catwoman 71, G.I. Joe number 2, love the first issue. If Greg's still in here, he and I went to an event, got that first issue, bonded over G.I. Joe comics. Spectacular Spider-Man number 10, House of Slaughter number 28, Psylocke number 2, Captain America number 16, The Question, All Along the Watchtower number 2, Dark Knights of Steel All Winter number 6, John Constantine Hellblazer Dead in America number 11. That title is far too low. That should be higher. I love that book so very much. I love Constantine, and that Hellblazer title is amongst the best stuff. Simon Spurrier writes the hell out of a Hellblazer. I tell you what. We've also got over from DC, Plastic Man No More number 4. Really digging that title. Also should be a bit higher. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, World's Finest Special number 1. Big Green Arrow fan, as you can tell by my aesthetic and grooming. We've also got TVA number 1, if you're a fan of Loki and the Disney Plus stuff and the world of the TVA that's been brought into the MCU. It is now in the comic books with that issue 1. We've got the Sacrificers number 13, Rick Remender, writer of Deadly Class, bringing some really cool stuff with theological lore. Sentinels number 3, digging that title more than I expected. Helverine number 1, man oh man, I don't know why it works, but it always does. What a fun, silly title. Batman 89, Echoes number 5, the sequel to the book that was effectively the chronology and canon of Batman 89, the Batman Keaton stuff from Tim Burton. The third movie got turned into a Batman 89 comic, and this is the sequel to that. It's pretty cool. It's called Echoes. I highly recommend you check it out. Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night Returns, number 4. We've also got Namor, number 5. We got Jenny Sparks, number 5, another Tom King book. Badass stuff. Big stuff with gods and intensity and the scope of the DC universe, especially with Batman and Superman on that cover there. Very excited about it. Blood Hunters number 5. Star Wars Ahsoka number 6. That might do it. Nope. Tin Can Society number 4 over from Image Comics. Loving that. And Dynamite Comics bringing Lilo and Stitch number 8. If you've got kids, Justice Runs in the Family number 143 is out. Arcbound number 2, written by Tom Hardy as well as Scott Snyder, is also out this week. Godzilla Masterpiece, Theater number 2. A lot of stuff. Big week. Those are the main ones I'm pulling. Big old week in comic books. Let me see. Super chats. Hopefully that gives you guys some context for what is coming out in the world. Pesto, love this question. Is there a record you're excited to play first on that new setup? I got a first pressing of Donald Glover's Camp in Red. That's up there. I have a pressing that I'm really curious to hear of Cake, the Motorcade of Generosity. I'm really curious to hear my White Zombie on there, because the White Zombie speed is really interesting, like the cadence of White Zombie with good speakers. Those are up there. Kendrick Lamar's Damn is a no skip, and I think that'll be really powerful. Those are some highlights for sure. I've got some greatest hits albums. I usually like albums front to back, but there's some artists that I think like I want to hear their hits. Like I've got a Tom Petty that I'm really excited to hear that I haven't played yet. Doug McKinney, actually. But yeah, those are the ones that jump out. Vagabond of Light. What do you think about Green Lantern Dark? And second question, do you intend to do more New Rockstars break room spots? Green Lantern Dark. I like but don't love. I'm more a Green Lantern space cop in a commentary kind of way guy. Like Far Sector. I think Far Sector is amazing. I think some of the early Jon Stewart stuff's amazing. But if you're gonna go a little more linear, I think Kyle Rayner is more of that for me. So I don't dislike it, but it's not like a top 5. And New Rockstars break room spots. Yes. Hopefully next year. There's a lot coming out next year. The second half of this year just kind of got, chaotic with schedules, but I have a lot of love for those guys, and they know where to find me. If things line up, I will absolutely be interested. Charlie Flixfix, how did you do on your New Year's resolutions? I had 24 of them, and I probably accomplished like 17 or 18. I did well. I can't touch my toes still. I didn't stay at the weight goal. I got there, but then I gained weight when I got really sick and my eardrum blew out and I got vertigo and I couldn't go to the gym because I couldn't stand. Overall, net positive. I'm really excited to look at them again and reassess and make 25 for 2025. And then I'm going to stop my crazy one per year. I'm doing a top 24 movies of 2024. I'm doing 25 resolutions for 2025. But then when 2026 hits, I'm gonna stop my crazy number stuff and I'm gonna do 10 like a normal person. But yes, absolute titles are amazing. Thank you, Matt. I agree. What's your favorite one of the new Kendrick album? My guess is Reincarnated. My favorite is Luther. DRK Nation. I've got like a dust bunny in my nose. I apologize. Reincarnated is my favorite rap song in years. Reincarnated made me feel like I heard Tupac again, and that means the world to me, as he is my favorite rapper of all time. Never thought I'd hear a new Pac song, and I didn't, but I got close. So Reincarnated for sure, and Luther is amazing. It's my fiance's favorite. Can all live streams just give me a concierge call so I don't miss them? Tyler Adams, I wish the notification bell did more notificating. Clay, I really love the feeling good vibe, the Superman for all seasons. It was my favorite of all your recs. Is there a similar type of comic for Spider-Man? As he is my favorite, a feel good one. Chip Zdarsky writes a pretty good feel good Spider-Man. It's not purely feel good because Spider-Man goes pretty dark because like he has a lot of trauma happen at him. Spider-Man Deadpool, first arc especially, pretty feel good. Yeah, I'd say Spider-Man Deadpool, Volume 1. Isn't It Bromantic is the name of it. I'd recommend that. Ultimate Spider-Man is pretty light. It gets dark. Venom is crazy. Gwen Stacy stuff happens. But overall, it is a fairly light book. Ultimate Spider-Man or Spider-Man Deadpool would be recommendations. Let's see. Space Cup Green Lantern. Yeah, we're on the same page, Vagabond of Light. Okay, so this is pretty perfect timing. I got delivered this literally 20 minutes before I went live, and it helped inspire us doing this live because I wanted to make sure that before the new year, I opened up this box that DC sent me, and this, I believe, if it is what I think it is going to be great Christmas present recommendations for you lovelies. If it's what I think it is, these would make amazing gifts for your friends and your family, and I wanted to show you guys off some of them. So a little unboxing action for you lovelies. We got, oh yes, oh there's the stuff. That's the ticket. All right, are you ready for this? Oh, that's beautiful. We got Batman Hush 20th Anniversary Edition, looking stunning. How long ago? It was like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, guys, Batman Hush, great gateway comic. Look at this 20th Anniversary Edition. Oh, I'm not even going to see the art that you guys are going to see. I just know it's going to be gorgeous. Some Jim Lee art is always gorgeous. Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee, 20th Anniversary. Look at this book. DC, thank you. This is why I wear this sweatshirt with pride. You guys know how to take care of a comic fan. You know how to love a comic fan. You send him comics, and he loves you right back. He appreciates it very, very much. It is an unboxing. Guys, we've got, the reason I wanted to open this, I didn't know they were going to send me that. Thank you, DC, if you're watching this. They are sending me some compact comics because I don't have any, and I told them I wanted to check them out because I thought it was a cool design. I've seen them in bookstores. I've recommended them to people. I don't own any. They sent me some. We've got this stunner right here. Look at this beautiful size. This is American Vampire Book 1 by Albuquerque and Snyder. It is handheld. You can bring this with you. Take it on the train, take it on the bus. Don't read it in the car unless you're a passenger. Beautiful. Look at that. Love this. What a beautiful format. And it's the whole comic. It's whole book 1. But in a manageable size. If you're a trade paperback person, check these out. What a fun unboxing this is going to be. Court of Owls. Batman's Court of Owls saga. One of my favorites of all time. Scott Snyder. He also did the American Vampire book I just pulled. This is a great gateway comic. Highly recommend. What a book. What a time. I love this title oh so very much. Batman Court of Owls. Highly recommend. Also, Greg Capullo art. He is a student of Todd McFarlane, and I love his style. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Court of Owls, highly recommend. Also, probably some good reading before the Batman 2. Let's see. We've got, there it is. There's the book of the hour. What perfect timing. Literally, I got a buddy of mine was at DC, and instead of mailing it, just picked this up for me. Brought it to my door. I got this 20 minutes before I went live with you. Perfect timing. I'm going to reread this for funsies. What a perfect day to reread All-Star Superman in a new format. Frank Quitely art, Grant Morrison on the 1s and 2s. This book is a must-read if you liked that Superman teaser. This is a big old box. Yeah, it's literally the craziest timing. We've got Batman Hush. Guys, they sent me the 20th anniversary in hardcover because I love them and they love me. They also sent me the beautiful compact edition. I'm going to read this everywhere. I'm going to go to the park just to read this in public. I'm going to just be a walking ad for comic books. I'm going to be like, hey, oh, what you reading there? Oh, just Batman Hush. Don't worry about it. Just do your thing. Amazing. DC, hugs, kisses, everything from me to you. Guys, This is stunning. Oh, little love note. We've also got my membership into the Justice League. Don't worry about it. We got Far Sector. Okay, guys, they're making all my favorite books into compacts. I don't know what's happening. I say a book, it appears in my hand in a beautiful format. Far Sector. 10 minutes ago, I was like, you know what kind of Green Lantern I like? This kind of Green Lantern. And it appears before me. Manifesting. I'm just actively manifesting compact books. Thing of beauty. This is my introduction to Jamal Campbell, an artist I love. This is such a great Green Lantern story. If you've never read Green Lantern, I recommend you start there. Darwin Cook and Ed Brubaker's Catwoman. One of the greats. One of the greats. Trial of Catwoman in a compact format. Iconic art for days. Such a fun vibe. Such a good book. Haven't read this in probably 10 years. I got a lot to do, guys. This is a holly jolly box of books. We're down to our last three. What a delight. Okay, let's see. I'm not gonna wait. We got four. We got Grant Morrison's Wonder Woman Earth 1, another must-read. Grant Morrison is formative to all reinventions in comic books, so if you ever want to pick up, like, oh, what's a good, I like this character, see if Grant Morrison's written them, and generally it's a good time. We've then got, oh, I love this book. I've got this one oversized. I've got this one the opposite. This is the compact. I've got a giant big one. Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo's Joker. I talk about this book all the time. The art is staggering. It's painted style. It's like, you know, in print, but also in paint. Lee Bermejo's an Italian painter. Really great aesthetic. Really gross, drippy book. Brian Azzarello doing the work. Really good stuff. Final two, fittingly, who watches the Watchmen live stream? This book changed comics. This is Alan Moore's magnum opus. This is one of the greatest comics of all time. This is the compact version of it. Dope, dope, dope stuff. And finally, we're going to end it with Harley Quinn of the Gotham City Sirens. Paul Dini, responsible for so much animation you know and love, writing on Harley Quinn fittingly. And we got some beautiful, colorful, classic, with a modern twist, art compact edition. Guys, what a set. What a beautiful, beautiful carry around. Have yourself a time. These are all available in store. These are available at bookstores. These are available at comic stores. These are available online. You can get these mailed to you. Guys, DC Compact. Highly recommend. Get after them. Have yourself a time. You know, I was going to wrap at 7. I'm going to wrap at like 7:15. You guys want to bag and board some comics with me? There's more of you in here now than when we started. So we're gonna rock out a little bit. I'm real. I was so tired, I was passing out while I was making the thumbnail to this. And now, with the power of comic books, I am revitalized. I am energized by nerdery. So let's do a little bit more. Let's do 15 minutes. Any recs for an online comic store. You know, Golden Apple ships. Golden Apple on Melrose, I go to very often. It's where I film comic book shopping. I would recommend them. I sometimes use Mile High Comics for old ones, but I like to collect comics by going to stores. So I don't really online shop all that much, but yeah. They're all worth the buy. I agree. I own 2 copies of All-Star Superman. I'm going to buy a couple more to give people for Christmas. Bradley Pooper, you American hero. God damn it, your name is great, and your gumption is strong, and I really respect it. I respect it. I appreciate it. I am a walking ad for comics. Far Sector, I loved it. I saw Douglas McKinney in real time, experiencing that moment. This makes me happy. People crying watching the trailer. Tyler Adams, I get you, man. That's yes. All right. I am going to bag and board some books. If you guys get any super chats in there, I promise them. If you get any questions there, I will absolutely do my best to see them all while I do this. I have never been to Chicago. The Windy City is on my list. I have never been. We've got The Penguin, number 11 of a 12-issue miniseries. Tom King. If you guys haven't noticed, I really like Tom King's work. De La Torre, I did not know his work, but he does an exceptional job accentuating King's writing, making this a very, very much like the show tone. This book feels a lot like the show. Highly recommend it. It is also a very approachable book that does not need a lot of continuity explained. Issue 7, Thing o' Beauty. Issue number 6. I'm going to be sorting these after I bag and board them. Compact editions are awesome. I totally agree. It's a great way to get people into comics. I'm personally a floppy guy as far as like collecting, but if you're going to read and you're going to recommend and you're going to like have it out and about, if you're going out, compact comics could not pick a better format. Penguin number 6. We've got DC's All-In Special. Have not bag and boarded this from 2 months ago, 3 months ago. DC All-In number 1. Let's see, 160. You have the story of these comics. You have a ton. I have 37 long boxes back east, and I have about 10 long boxes out here, and they are filling up. I need to move. I told you guys about a month and a half ago, I'm trying to buy a house. I'm staying in an apartment that's a little too small in order to save up so I can buy a house in the next year or two. Putting every dollar I make, literally the reason I'm buying speakers is because I'm selling stuff, and half the money goes towards the house and half goes to me. That way I can stay sane while like selling. So yeah, I want to buy a house so I can store my comics. I want a room with bookshelves, and I want to put them on bookshelves so I can have my comics out. DC All-In number 1. Look at that beauty. Look at that thing of beauty. Oh, look at this cover. Okay, I'm going to save it until it's bagged and boarded. This is a foil variant of a certain Absolute comic, and it is a thing of beauty. Isn't it incredibly difficult to enjoy the comics if you're having to consume so many quickly, so consistently? Some of my favorites are when you get to let them marinate for a bit. Quentin Anthony Anderson. I have that problem with comics. I have that problem with movies. I have that problem with TV. I've commodified all of the things I love for content, and that means I can't really enjoy them for enjoyment, and I don't really have time. I'm hoping over the holiday I'm going to read these for fun, but I don't really have time to do things for fun. So yes, comics aren't for hobby anymore. They are for work, and that's hard. And sometimes I lose my mind because I didn't replace them with anything. I don't have a hobby, but I'm so happy that I get to share my love of comics with you for a living that sometimes it's worth a little crazy. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolute Wonder Woman number 1. Foil variant like the 90s. Love to see it. Speaking of variants, this is a beautiful variant of Batman 148 from Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez, a beautiful painted variant. I would like to narrate comics where I live in India. It's really difficult to find comics, but in Delhi, a Comic-Con going on, but it's really cheap. That's cool. Go to the Comic-Con, man. That's awesome. I love that you're trying to find a way. I hate that it's hard, but I love that you're trying to find a way. 148, and Batman right there. I would love my hobby to be sleep. That is another hobby that escapes me. Why Spider-Man comics get dark? I think all comics, get dark at times because life gets dark at times. I don't think anything's ever light and fluffy, or it's unrealistic. This is going to be the companion to that Wonder Woman foil. This is, fittingly for today, the Superman Crest variant in foil. Look at that. What a perfect comic for today. Thing of beauty. Bagged and boarded. Taken care of. Stunning. Look at that. Oh, God, it's gorgeous. All right, Penguin Takes Flight, issue number 0 of Penguin. I've got a full run of Penguin here in the weirdest order ever. We did 11, we did 6, we're just getting through. Here's issue 0. We're making it happen, folks. Cover art is absolutely beautiful. I agree. Want to start a Secret Wars read through. Do I start at New Avengers? Oh, that Secret Wars. I'd start at the Secret Wars from the 80s if I were you. Your choice, but New Avengers is a good place to start for the new Secret Wars. Penguin number 0. We've also got a Penguin number 5. There's Penguin number 1. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. I'm going to do probably another 10 minutes, and then Boogie. Coy, have you ever checked out Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees? I've not, but that title is dope. I liked saying it out loud just now. I will add that to the mental Rolodex of if I see it, if I come across it, I will check it out. Purchase an All-Star Superman Compact Edition because I'm a college student, so I'm always on the go. Alden Macroson, what a good way to celebrate. I love that. Yeah, college kids, get some compact editions. Penguin number 5. Thing of beauty. This is the beginning of it all. Penguin number 1. Guys, I highly recommend this Penguin title. If you like the show and you want more between the years of if they make a season 2 or not, or between the years of, when the Batman 2 comes out, there's these things called comics, and they're a great way to enjoy time with the characters. Penguin number 1 is a great way to spend some time with the Penguin, very much in the same vein, same tone, same style as the Colin Farrell, Matt Reeves produced show. We've got here Batman 146 coming at you with a really, really beautiful cover. I like this one a lot. Any horror comic recommendations? Raccoon Shampoo coming in clutch with the super chat. Raccoon Shampoo is a consistent gentleman and scholar. Much love to Raccoon Shampoo. Horror comics. Look for the names Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. He has an imprint at DC, or did, called Hill House. Hellblazer is dabbling into horror with the lens of superhero stuff. It's kind of like if capes and horror blended. I really, really, really recommend some Hellblazer. Simon Spurrier especially. But horror for the sake of horror, like pure horror, James Tynion IV is the name I want you to look up. The Closet is great. A Nice House by the Lake is great. Something is Killing the Children is astounding. Something is Killing the Children is an incredible horror comic. That's my biggest recommendation. Something is Killing the Children. But anything James Tynion IV, Department of Truth, I would argue is horror, and it's my favorite new comic since Saga. This is going to be Penguin number 3, so that's going to go with Penguin number 1, because right here is Penguin number 2. Yeah, I would say anything James Tynion IV. Also look up Joe Hill. Also look up Simon Spurrier's Hellblazer. What time does my DC show drop on Fridays? You know, last week it dropped at midnight because like Creature Commandos drops Thursday going into Friday at midnight, and I feel like DC Studios Showcase dropped Friday going into Saturday at midnight, but I don't actually know because it drops at a different time on HBO versus YouTube, so I'm not sure. Look at that. Boom. Issue number 2. I will try to find out though because I want to advertise it more, but I do know we have a new episode tomorrow. What time? I don't know, but I do know tomorrow. This is one of my favorite covers of the new Wonder Woman title that I've been raving about. Highly recommend you check out this Wonder Woman, and this cover is so dope. Any comic recommendations about Swamp Thing? Not the origin. I've read it multiple times, by the way. What are your thoughts and update about the upcoming Swamp Thing movie? I assume you mean the Alan Moore, which technically is the origin, but like retold. I love Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. There was a book last year. There was a Swamp Thing book that came out around Christmas last year. I cannot place the name, but if there's like a Swamp Thing Christmas or a Swamp Thing annual Swamp, there's a one-off of Swamp Thing it's Swamp Thing in the snow, and it's awesome. It came out last year. I'd recommend that one. And any updates, I haven't heard. But the day I can tell you, if I do hear and can tell you, James Mangold, I'm so excited if that works out, and I'm hopeful because I love that duo. Look at that Wonder Woman. My God, what a gorgeous cover. Big, big, big fan of that cover. We've got The Cali Kid. Have I ever met Grant Morrison? He is the greatest comic book writer of all time, in my opinion. He is an absolute genius. All right, is it name dropping if someone asks? Live chat, I'm going to stall for a second and let me know if it's name dropping if someone asks. I think it shouldn't be if someone asks. Batman 154, but a Creature Commandos cover. Oh, that reminds me, while I'm stalling so people get in there. Why? People, Creature Commandos, exceptional. Episode 4, my favorite episode of the series. Watch my review. Watch the episode, and then watch my review. My episode 1 and 2 and 3 all did better than 4. Go watch 4. I hope people are watching 4 and they're just distracted by Superman, so they're not talking about it as much. Episode 4 of Creature Commandos is one of the best episodes of superhero TV I have ever seen in my life. Any medium, anything, any publisher, any medium, any time. That episode 4, is one of the best comic book episodes of TV I have ever seen. Watch it. It's available now on HBO Max. It dropped yesterday. And then watch my review. It's on this page. It's 3 videos ago. Highly recommend it. Creature Commandos, episode 4. Holy shit, it's good. Drop it like it's hot, my dude. I hate to ask again about the update of Batman 2. Batman 2 update is that it's confirmed to be shooting next year. The script is almost done, and that Greg Fraser is DPing that and not Dune. Okay, yes, okay, it's not a name drop. Grant Morrison came to my birthday. It was 6 years ago? 7 years ago? It was 7 years ago. My 7-year-ago birthday, Grant Morrison was invited by a mutual friend and actually came because my birthday was at a ball. We had a giant gala ball, and there were people dancing, and it was crazy. I was in this awesome like suit with green, and like it was a crazy time. But I was like on a stripper pole when Grant Morrison got there, and I was just twirling around the stripper pole, hanging out with friends, enjoying substances. And then Grant Morrison appears, and we have a conversation about the X-Men and the drama of the X-Men and writing the X-Men and the struggle of how life gets dramatic when you write too much drama, and the X-Men being so dramatic and catty. And like I'm having this out of mind experience of like, I'm not all there. It's my birthday. I'm talking to Grant Morrison about writing the X-Men. And then we started talking about technology and existentialism and simulation theory. And I had one of the coolest 20-minute conversations with Grant Morrison. And then he sang happy birthday with everyone to me when my cake came out. And it was crazy. So that is a shameless name drop brought to you by someone asking, so it's not a name drop. I cleared it by the chat. I appreciate it not being seen in poor taste. I'm working on the name dropping. I hate feeling like I am trying to be relevant by people that I know is relevant, so I'm working on it. Got a little shame around it, but since you asked, Grant Morrison had my birthday once, and it was fucking crazy. Does the DC Showcase have a David Ep coming? There are a lot of Davids. David Dasmalchian, David Harbour, David Duchovny. There might be. I don't know. The only guests I can tell you are Jim Lee, Sean Gunn. Actually, those are only two I can tell you. I can tell you Jim Lee and Sean Gunn. And then the rest, I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. That is so fun cool, right? Isn't that crazy? It was nuts. Love the Superman trailers. It's weird that my only complaint is that it looked too digital. Yeah, you know, it is very vibrant and bright and clean. And I could see that complaint. And the fact that that's your only complaint makes me happy because you're not just like mad at something innocuous. Like, I could see that being an issue for you. That's totally fair. Totally understand that. I miss film stock. But the feel of the music and the feel of the movie all felt old and classic enough that like it didn't bother me, but I could see that bothering. Grimm variant right here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Sorry I didn't show you guys the last couple of Grimms. Another Grimm right here from Boom Studios. Issue 16 of Grimm from Boom. I think we're going to be wrapping up soon. You lovelies, let me make sure I got to each and every super chat that I... Yes, Raccoon Shampoo with Horror X. I hope I gave enough. Cali Kid with the Grant Morrison question. DC Showcase have a David Ep. I'm not sure if it's Harbor or Dasmalchian, but either way I couldn't answer. And I'm hoping I gave you a little morsel of something with the Jim Lee and Sean Gunn anecdote morsel. Those things are coming. Do I think Snyder fans being how they can be will hurt this new Superman? I think it is going to be an exhausting 7 months. I think that no matter what those people are... I just want them to be happy, and they won't be, and that's on them. So I think ignoring them is overdue. You know, violence is tricky with the internet because it doesn't feel violent, but being assaulted verbally is violent, and it sucks because those people have no... The certain bad ones. Like, I think Zack Snyder's a great dude, and I think his wife is amazing. Deborah's awesome, and like so when I say bad, I mean like the people that are violent and mean, and like I don't mean if you like the movie you're bad. I mean if you're a dick, you're not a good person. I think those people, dicks are always gonna be dicks, but we just gotta like enjoy the movie we want to enjoy. That's all we can do because it's gonna be an exhausting run. Big Snyder fan here, and I'm absolutely pumped for this new Superman. Exhibit A, like I'm literally not. I don't want to seem like I'm being tribal. I'm not. I'm saying that the people you're likely referring to, hopefully they, you know, can open their minds and enjoy Superman. That'd be nice. Let's see. The Superman style of film been waiting for a decade. Love it, says San. It is David Duchovny. Can confirm. Studio now. Coy, love you, bro. Love you too. Big Snyder fan here. We read that. Just like the joy you bring to all the content. Thank you, I am Jax12. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Do you think Superman fan will get more pressure on him for Superman 2 if he gets to that movie? Possibly. You know, I don't want to look too far ahead. I want to appreciate the now, but talking to the dude, he is an absolute angel, and he is both Clark Kent and Superman. And when I drop that video tomorrow with all my conversations, I would love if you guys could go in there and comment and like and grow that, because if that video does well, I'll do more stuff like it. So it was great to chat with the cast, and I'm really excited to post that video. I'm going to have to edit that now. So actually, I should wrap this up and go edit. Speaking of, that video is up there. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I've got videos of short form of that stuff going up as well. Check out my reaction at Real Rejects. Check out my video this morning of my thoughts on the trailer long form. And also, check out my interview with Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba. And I bring that up because I am bagging and boarding Berserker pen and ink edition of Fallen Empire, and it is a big old book, so it is really hard to board. Every so often a book is like a big old boy. Yes, go watch Creature Commandos. Oh wait, let's see. Just purchased All-Star Superman through your affiliate link. Thank you for all you do, Cooper. Man, Cooper's just being great. Cooper Ring, I appreciate that. Yes, I try to, you notice people use affiliate links. What it does is it helps the algorithm, because YouTube's like, oh, we can make some money, so maybe we'll promote your video a little bit more. And I think that's, it's business. I get it. But at the same time, I only want to promote like stuff that I would buy, so I try to put comics as my affiliate links. So that means a lot. Thank you. I gave up on comic then board. I went board in bag and now comic. There it is. There it is. Boom shakalaka. Berserker, pen and ink, and a pen and ink variant. Look at that beauty. Man, oh man. Mattson Tomlin writing with Keanu Reeves. This, by the way, The Fallen Empire. Look for this cover, probably in color. Is my favorite of the Berserker stuff so far. I think that Mattson Tomlin absolutely crushed it. Feels like we're in a great spot for Superman content from the Williamson run, Superman trailer, Superman Lois Season 4, and My Adventures of Superman with old Jack Quaid, I also think is pretty exceptional. There's the variant, and that is going to do it, you lovelies. I have to go edit. First time stream for me. Just wanted to say that we're so glad to see you as the official DC comic correspondent. You're the only person I can imagine in that role. What a perfect last comment. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the first live stream of mine. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for the kind words. That means so much to me. That is going to do it. I have been streaming for a little over an hour. I told myself 45 minutes to an hour. I have to edit for about 4 hours and then get that video up for you guys tomorrow. And it might go up a little late. I might have to sleep. But I'm going to get that video up for you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be Superman discussing their characters with the cast, but it's me talking about it. We couldn't record. I wanted to just get their anecdotes. So me sharing stories from David Cornsweet, sharing stories from Rachel Brosnahan with their permission, sharing stories from Nicholas Hoult and James Gunn, talking about meeting them, sharing some photos and stuff. That is going to drop tomorrow at some point, maybe not morning, depending on how things go. I'm pretty tired. I also have a lot of comics to read. What problems? What problems I have. But new episode of DC Studio Showcase drops tomorrow. New video from me drops at some point tomorrow. A Complete Unknown review from me probably drops like over the weekend at some point. Sunday, the Dune Prophecy finale video drops. Monday, I do believe, oh no, Saturday, What If starts. So, okay, tomorrow, interviews, conversations with the cast of Superman video. Then A Complete Unknown if I get it done. Saturday, What If. Sunday, What If Episode 2, as well as the Dune finale. And then at some point next week, I'm going to try to get out my 5 favorite albums video. I have to film it. My 24 favorite movies of 2024, and hopefully my favorite comics. So if that isn't a strong enough pitch, subscribe. Like. If you're already subscribed, like this video. Leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you're most excited for. Are you excited for the new episode of DC Studio Showcase? Are you excited for any of those videos I just mentioned? Are you excited for my coverage over at Real Rejects? Are you excited to pick up one of these DC compact comics? Thank you, DC. Are you excited for me to sleep? Because I am. I appreciate you guys very much. I couldn't do this without you. Everything that I just listed that I'm doing is because of you, and it means the world to me. You guys care. Thank you to each and every person that left a super chat. It means a lot to me. I am Jax12, just like through all the content. Thank you, thank you. Alden McCrossan, thank you, thank you. The Cali Kid, thank you, thank you. Raccoon Shampoo, everyone that got in the super chats, everyone that left a comment, everyone that asked our question, thank you very much. Leave a comment answering what you're most excited for. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Don't leave a subscribe, leave subscribed. And we'll be back probably in the new year. Probably won't be streaming in the next 8 days or whatever it is. But I wanted to bag and board with you guys. Be sorting some comics in the new year. I'll be going through some long boxes with you. If you liked that video of me doing the Blu-rays, go back and watch episode 2. I did the B's. I did the numbers in A, and it got enough views that it made sense to do another one. But then the next one did like half. So if you guys want more of those, head on over to that video. It's like 5 videos ago. I've been making a lot of stuff, and I appreciate you guys watching the stuff. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna take your advice, and I'm gonna rest. Also, as I leave, I'm gonna tilt the camera down because Spidey was with us this whole time. He's laying right in front of the camera. Much love to you guys. Spidey's gonna be the post-credit scene. I'll see you real soon. Thank you for being here. Much love. Comment, like, all those things. YouTube things. But first, that was where Spidey was. Look at that boy. Oh yeah, that's that boy. He's a handsome lad. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Happy holidays if I don't talk to you directly.